Hey everyone, I wanted to do a test. I was kind of curious on how much power consumption the Keurig 2.0 draws, not only when you're brewing a cup of coffee, but also when it's in an idle state, still on. Um, just wanted to run some numbers on that, so I'm going to share with you today what my findings are. And one thing that's kind of interesting is I just plugged in my kilowatt. And as you can see, I've been drawing about 2.5 watts with this completely off. So as you can see, this Keurig 2.0, and it is completely off. And I just thought that was kind of interesting. So I did crunch numbers on that. It's about $2.60 a year that it consumes just in it's sitting idle like this. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to unplug it. And what I'm doing here is I'm just resetting the kilowatt hour measurement. So I'm going to plug it back in. I'm going to go to watts, and I'm going to go over here. I'm going to fire it up. And let's watch what it does now. Oh, wow. So 1375 watts while the Keurig is heating up. That's interesting. So we're still holding steady. 1375. And this is the top model Keurig 2.0. I don't believe that should have any effect on the power draw. So yeah, we're holding pretty steady around 1375, which is much higher than I was expecting. What I'll be curious to see is what I'm going to do is run this for an hour after it's already preheated here, and see what it averages, because it's not always running the heater inside to keep the water warm. After it's to temperature, it maintains it, so I'm going to expect that this will drop over an hour, but it'll give you a good idea if you leave yours on 24/7. This will give you an idea of what the cost is going to be behind that. So it should be done preheating here shortly. I'll grab a mug and we'll see what it does to the power draw. And this is just to get a, what does it take to brew it? Like I say, I'm going to do this over about an hour and see what it averages out at and let you know what that cost is. So now it's done preheating. System is just on. And it's 2.5 watts. So it's interesting to note that whether this is on or off, after it's been preheated, it takes the same amount of power. So we'll go ahead and we'll see what this does as it's brewing. So really it takes about 10 watts while it's heating. As soon as it kicks on that it needs to heat up water, we're back up to 1385. So what I wanted to do is over this hour average that I'm going to be taking a reading on, I'm going to not brew any more cups. I'm going to let that go. I'm just going to leave it on now so you can see it's preheating. We're at 1375. It is now off. Well, it's in idle mode, so it's technically on. And it is stabilizing back to 2.4, 2.5. So what I'm going to do is, it's now been running for 3 minutes. I'm going to let this run for an hour, get the total kilowatt hours for one complete hour of it just running idle. And it's going to cycle on and off. I think maybe every 10, 15, 20 minutes. This will cycle on, warm the water up, and then turn itself off. So I'm going to get a reading of that and see what an hour costs on the Keurig for electricity. We'll be back in 1 hour. All right, so I think we've got it pretty well wrapped up here. As you can see, we've done just about an hour, and it just clicked over to 0.07 kilowatts. So if we do the calculation here, 0.07, and we times that by 12 cents per kilowatt, we get 0.0084. So that's for 1 hour. Now, if we do this over 24 hours, and this would be simulating if for the regular person that might leave this on all day, every day, we'll do 24 hours, so that's 20 cents per day. So that's what, maybe $5 a month. And if we do it 365 days a year, you're looking at about $73.50. So that's $73.50 to leave the Keurig plugged in all day, every day. And that was brewing 1 cup. And I know there's people that brew quite a bit more than that. So just to give you an idea, you're looking at roughly $75 a year to leave it on 24/7.